Hey guys, welcome back to CheatSheetPros.com. I'm going to go ahead and run over our Showdown sheet. It's a newer sheet that I just released a couple of weeks ago. And I just want to explain to people kind of how I use it because I've had a lot of success with it. And Showdowns are a lot of fun because they're quick one-day payouts. And if you get unlucky on day one and you've got DJ and he withdraws and shoots +7, you can start over with your Showdowns in day two. So here's the sheet, and I kind of like the way it's evolved to what it's came to now, so I want to show it to you. So over here we've got our golfer name, we've got our Showdown salary for DK, we've got a little algo number that we're playing with, their position, their score. I use this for round 2, but depending on the round, I show their first round scores. Today I'll update it with round 2 scores. Tomorrow I'll update it with round 3 scores. So when you go into round 4, you see what they shot each round. So that helps. That helps determine if they shot one round at -6 and then went even, or if they're consistently, -3, -3, -3, putting up good rounds. Because of course, when you play showdowns, you want people that can score, not people that are consistently -1, -2, and just barely making the cut. And so over here, these are the ranks for the last 36 or 24 rounds. I kind of flip up what I pull, and it's birdie or better, par 5 scoring, par 4 scoring, approach, tee to green, eagles or better, and putting. So you can kind of see roughly how they rank, and I'll show you where that comes into play. And then when we scroll down here, we have our current live strokes gained. And so we have our strokes gained putting, strokes gained approach, strokes gained tee to green, and then ball striking, which is off the tee and approach combined. I know a lot of people use ball striking. Off the tee doesn't really correlate a whole lot, so I save the column, but I can always add that in there if you guys want it. In every tournament I've looked at, and if you've read any articles that I've basically wrote, approach and tee to green have the biggest correlation to people doing well and making the cut. So those are the two I focus on. So I put those two together and I put it in a thing called a Scott score. So the Scott score is one of the numbers that I focus on with the sheet. And then over here, the score ranks, it's just some rankings of everything minus approach and tee to green. And the reason is, if you have people that are good at birdie or better, good at par 4 and par 5 scoring, but they're bad at approach, tee to green, sometimes they don't pop on the sheet. So score ranks, I focus on all the other categories. And again, we got a reminder, just like I said in the baseball sheet. If the sheet gets too long, I put a little name reminder over here for you. And then over here, we've got our recent rounds. We have the average per round, and then we have the ceiling. And I can add more of these. I don't know how detailed you guys want to be, but I have the current tournament, and then I have the tournament from last week and the tournament from the week before. So I'm going back about, 8 to 12 rounds, and I can even go a third tournament. But you can look and you can get an idea of like how people are scoring. Now, the Memorial was a hard tournament, so I don't focus on that a lot. But like right here, you see -4, -3, -2, -5. Okay, this is probably a pretty decent player that could go low. Now, his ceiling's only -5. His average is -1.8, and you can see it's only these 4 rounds plus this one. So, but it kind of gives you an idea of how people are shooting over the last couple tournaments, if they're hot, if they're cold, and whatnot. So you can come up here and you can start off. You can sort by salary and go down. You can see they're color coded just like they are in the cheat sheet. We can look at algo numbers. So use the algo if you get a couple players, like if we're in here and we're in the same price tag. Pick guys with the higher algo. That's the best way to go. So typically what I do, the first thing when I come in here and I'm looking for plays, is I go to Scott score and I'm going to sort it by highest to lowest. That's going to show me the people with a strong approach and tee to green game. And then I'm going to compare these two columns, their strokes gained putting and how they rank putting. And so we're going to go down here and we're just going to look at a few. So like Danny Lee, what'd he do? So he opened up, shot -4. And you can see his numbers here are pretty good. 14th birdie or better, 13th par 4, decent in approach, kind of mid-range, 24 tee to green. Those are good numbers. And he sucks as a putter. He's not a good putter. He was -1.7 strokes gained putting. So, this is telling me that he is not a good putter and he didn't putt good, but he still shot -4. So I'm good with it. He's got a strong approach and tee to green game, and he did great ball striking in round 1, so it's someone I don't mind using. If he comes up to average, this could have been a -6 number. And then I'll look over here. Now, last week, the Memorial, he shot a 8 and withdrew, which is fine. That was a tough tournament. And then let's go down here. So Finau is kind of the same way. So here's one that I would probably stay away from, and here's why. So Nick Watney at 6,600, he shot -6 in the first round, and his numbers are decent. They're not bad, but he's 95th in putting, which means he's terrible, but he was plus 1.17 strokes gained putting. So -6 was a reach for him. I don't think he'll do that again, and if I want to be sure, I just want to look back and see what he's done in recent rounds. Well, at the Memorial, he did +5, +1, tough tournament. But at the Workday, that wasn't too tough of a tournament. He shot +5, +1, missed the cut. So he's someone I would probably stay away from in a Showdown slate. And we go down here to Wolf. Now, Wolf has good numbers. Everybody knows he won here at the 3M last year. And then he's a decent putter. He's ranked 29th, and he's plus 1.52. So that tells me he's a good putter, and he's putting good. So I don't have an issue with it. Strong tee to green game. He's someone I would use, and actually I did use in the Showdowns, and I think he shot, I can't even remember. I'm not even going to guess. He was, I think, -3 today, -4, somewhere around in there. Cam Davis, kind of the same thing. Strong numbers. Terrible putter, minus a stroke around. Okay, yeah. But strong tee to green, so if he got lucky with the putter, he could do good. Duffner, look at how bad at putting he is. 143rd, and he's -2.2 strokes gained putting. Now, he's been really good approach tee to green, but he can't putt to save his life. So that's probably someone I would stay away from. And I look over here and see par, +1, +1, +5. You know, his ceiling is -3. Yeah, probably not going to use him for a Showdown. And then Michael Thompson, he's one that jumped up. He was second yesterday, shot -7, which was amazing. And then 28th in putting, which I was shocked. I didn't know he was rated that high, and he was plus 2.38, which is really good. Probably a little bit better than normal, but with him being ranked 28th, I don't mind that. So if you want to use him, I mean, he shot 7 the day before at the same course. Okay, let's go with it. Now, Brooks Kepcke, he's someone that I did buy into a lot of. He only shot -1. Everybody knows Brooks. He's solid numbers. He's 52nd in putting, so kind of middle of the road, but he was -3.7, so he lost almost 4 strokes on putting in that round. So this -1 very easily could have been -5 if he just would have been at average or a little better. So he's someone that I bought into a lot, and I believe he ended up missing the cut. I think he was around -1 and then went up to par. I didn't see. Anyways, let me go down and look at some big difference, guys. So you're basically comparing the strokes gained putting to see if they're doing better, if they're doing worse. After 2 rounds, you get a better stat than 1 round. 1 round's a little extreme, like Ricky here. He's a good putter, good stats, but plus 4.38 is insane. There's no way he can keep that up. And then we come down here. So here's someone, Kazire, but he's got so much red, I'm not even going to focus on him. So here's someone, Bo Van Pelt, shot -5 the first day. Look at these ranks, 148th, 128th, 151st, 104. I mean, just awful. And, I mean, he's almost dead last in putting, but he was plus 2.36 strokes, so that's telling a different story. So statistically, he's been horrible, but he was putting lights out. So not someone I want to use, but at 6,200, I'm hoping other people will see that he shot -5, plug him in, and then he shits the bed the next day. I'm curious to see what he did. And then we go over here. Let me find who's won. I had a guy in here, Taylor Gooch, that he blew my mind, and I wrote his name down, and I highlighted it. There he is. Okay, so he had a really good algo rating at 89. He shot -5. Well, you can kind of see in this range of players, there's a lot of red. And then when you look at his numbers here, look at this, 16th, 8th, 22nd, 25th, 32nd, 12th. I mean, he's got unbelievable numbers. At $7,300, I was blown away at his stats. I didn't know he was ranked that well. And so he was ranked 12th in putting, and he was plus 1.49. So he's good, doing good, and he's got a decent tee to green and approach. his Scott score is over 4, so that's really good. He's someone that jumped out at me, and I think he jumped into third place today. I only had him in 3 of the 10 lineups I did, but all of them did well. So when I look back at the Memorial, he shot +6, then -2. Again, the Memorial was tough. I don't look at it. He shot -5 the first round here, and nothing out of the ordinary jumps out. He's basically consistent with his ranking, so I would continue playing him because he should continue to do well in this tournament. And then at the workday, he shot, 4 rounds, -1 or better, -1, -4, -1, -3. So he's someone that kind of jumps out that I would use. And if you don't like looking at all the numbers and the stats, you sort by Scott score and just compare these 2 columns, putting rank and strokes gained putting, and then come over here to algo and sort that high to low. Of course, Finau is going to be the top 1, and the reason is he's number 1 in birdie or better, 9th in par 4 scoring. I mean, he's good everywhere else. He's not a great putter, but he's decent. He's getting by. And then he's got some great rounds. He shot a -6 and -3 at the Memorial, which is phenomenal considering what everybody else shot. And then we go down here to Werenski. Too high for the putting. We talked about him. Woof, good putter, doing good, plays the course well, like him. He's got a good ceiling. Ryan Moore is another one that I liked. Not a great putter, but, he's hanging in there with the averages. And then just kind of go down the list, and like Gooch, this is one that jumped out at me. The 12th, the 149, like we said, decent Scott score, ranked high on the algo. He's someone I would put in. Homa, I was kind of torn on. He shot -6. He's got phenomenal numbers, 3rd and 4th in approach and tee to green, but kind of middle of the pack putting, and he's putting a lot over his head, so to speak. I didn't see what he did today. I think he struggled a little bit, but he's had some decent rounds. But, just go back, kind of take a look at these. It's fun to come up. The salaries are usually a lot softer in the rounds 2, 3, and 4 than they are the opening round. Most of the time, I can get 3 studs in there. I think some of my lineups for round 2, I did Finau, Kepcke, and Wolf, and then I mixed and matched a bunch of the lower guys that I like in there. But anyways, this is the Showdown sheet. I'll usually post it once or twice in the free group to let people try it out, play with it, and then premium members, I'll do my best to have it up every round. Sometimes it's not up. If my son's got a baseball game, sometimes I don't get home till between 8 and 9 o'clock, but I'll usually put it together and throw it up for you then. If I accidentally miss a day here and there, I do apologize. It's going to be a shit show, so to speak, with basketball and baseball going into football draft season and golf and then showdown sheets, and now we're doing NASCAR. So my wife pretty much hates me right now because she knows how busy I am just during basketball season, posting the sheet, updating the sheet, and then same thing with baseball, posting it, updating it, and now those sports I had to tell her are going to come back to back at the same time, plus golf, plus NASCAR, plus the showdown sheet. So if I miss a sheet here and there, bear with me, I'll get it out. But I'm going to go ahead and hop off here and get this one updated for round 2, and we will talk to you later.